Alright, so now we're going to do an example solve. Basically using the information that I explained in the previous 5 parts, whatever. The Scramble will be in the description. It was scrambled with white top, green front, just like WCA, so scramble it like that. Now, so we start out by picking an orientation. So I don't really like, what I like to look for is two of the same color, like this or this or this. That's actually all I see of the same color on one face. So this is blue, so let's put that in the back. Now we want to figure out, do we want white up here or white down here or yellow down here? I would pick yellow down here because the shooting to here is an easy case. You have to use an algorithm for the ones down here, so I would just choose down here and over here. So this is the orientation, like this. So now we begin by memorizing the centers. First we have blue, and we're going to go to the blue side, and here's the first blue, because we go in this order, and that is L for me. First line is going to be center, memo, and so on. So we have L, keep a finger on it. Next is green. So then we go to the first green, that is D. So keep a finger on those two and write down D, or memorize D. Next you have a red. So the first available red is right here, that is H. And then you have the next available white, so that is right here, that is A. Well, it would be A. I almost said A. We've done an odd number of interchanges, so instead of shooting to here, you're going to shoot to here. So instead of shooting to A, you're going to be shooting to C. Gotta be careful of that. Next is red again, and we have kept a finger on this red. So next up is this one, so that's I. Then we have an orange. We have not dealt with orange yet, I don't think. No, we have not. So we're going to shoot to the very first one. That's P. So P. And then we have a green. We have kept a finger on this one, so we go to the next one. That's going to be E. And then we shoot to the next blue. So we've kept the finger on this blue. And then we go down here. So that's O, and that will complete the face. My fingers were like this, yes. So then that next one is white. So then the next white is right here. So that's going to be B. That white piece is not affected by the interchange. Then we have orange. So we have kept the finger on this. This orange is solved. Next one is right here. It's going to be S. Next we have a yellow. So then we go in order. That one's solved, that one's solved, that one is not solved. So that's going to be W. And then we have the final white. So we kept the finger on this, so we know we've gotten to here. And then we go to the next one, and that's normally C. Now, let me see here. Split it up. Realize that you have an odd number of interchanges. So instead of C, this is going to be A. You're going to shoot here instead of here. So it's going to be A. Now, and then that completes this face. So we have fingers on this one, this one, this one, and down here. So you're not going to have more than 6 fingers at a time on pieces, obviously. So we went from here, we went from this top one, So that's a green. Next green, we covered that, we covered that. This one's solved. That one is not solved, so that's G. And that will complete the green face. So then we have an orange. Oh, there's a sticker here. We have gotten to this piece, so the last remaining piece on orange is T, which is right here, this one. That completes the face. And then we have a red. So we've gotten to here. Next one is J. And then that will complete the face because this piece is solved. So J. And then finally yellow. This is the last remaining piece because this is the only finger we have left on the cube. So we go to the final yellow piece, that's Y. And that's white, and it will solve this center as well as this one. So since we have an even number of interchanges, then there will be no parity for centers. Now that will complete center memorization. Next, we will go to wing memorization. So we solve the centers, we need to keep in this orientation, then we need to start memorizing from this buffer piece. So use the tracing method that I just explained in part 4, I believe it was. So this is white, green, and you're going to imagine going up here. So from here to here. And for me that is A. Could be different for you. So after that we have a yellow blue. We could in this case just do that move, and that will put the yellow blue into place. So this will go all the way down here. So this is front, it's right here. And for me that is W. And then we have a blue white, and that's going to go right up here, as you can see. So we'll go back here. That's going to be G for me. Next we have red whites, and if you do a U move, then that's going to move it over here in the correct spot. Now, I know it might be hard to visualize, but just imagine that white is here, green is here, red is here, so on, or whatever your orientation is. So that's going to go here, and that is F for me. Aw, girlfriend. Next is red, blue. So you're going to imagine just doing a R move to just move it over here. So that would be solved. And that is N for me. And then we have orange, blue. So just imagine doing a B2 like this, putting that piece into place. So that is going to swing over. That is going to swing over here. So then we have R, or LB for you. And then we have green, yellow. That is not the buffer, that is this piece. Yellow, green is this piece. So we're going to imagine moving it around here, or rather, let's move it down here and then move it over here. So if we do an L prime and a D, that will put the piece in place. So right here, that is Z. Next we have yellow, red. So let's imagine doing an interturn, putting it down here and then swinging it over here into place. So that's between red and yellow right here. And that's going to be V for me. So right here. Next we have white, orange. So let's imagine moving it. Let's imagine moving it from here up to here, and then moving it around to here. White, orange. So that's going to be D for me. Next we have green, red. So let's imagine moving it over here and then moving it down here. That's L. Then we have green, orange. So let's just imagine doing an F2, putting it over here, and that's going to be K for me. And then we have orange, white. So let's imagine let's imagine doing an F and then doing a U. So orange, white. It's going to shoot right here. That is, excuse me, that is H. And then we have red, yellow. Red, yellow. And let's imagine doing an FY2 like this, and that will put it into place. So this swings all the way around here. That's going to be S. And then we have red, green. So this is going to swing over here by doing an R move. That's going to be M. Then we have blue, orange. So let's imagine doing a small u prime by putting it over here. So it's going to go here, and then going to swing around here. So that is going to be back here. That's going to be P. Next we have yellow, orange. So we're just going to do an L prime, put it into place. So imagine doing an L prime, puts it right there. That's going to be Y. And then next we have orange, green. So for me, it'd be easiest to do a little flip like this. Like I explained in part 4, you can just kind of go from here to here whenever you want. So it's orange, green, go over here, and then move up here. So that's going to be the orange-green position. That is I. Next we have white, red. So let's move it up to white, and then match it up with the red. So right here, that's going to be B. Next we have blue. We have blue, yellow. So I'm going to go over here and then down here by doing an inner turn. This is an interchangeable. Wing, but we have done an even number of wings as I've split it up. So that is indeed going to be shot to the BDR piece. For me, that is T. Next we have green, white. You can just do a R wide 2, brings it over here. Now this is also an interchangeable piece. Now we have done an odd number of interchanges. So instead of shooting to FUR, you're going to shoot to BDR. Again, that is T. The same letter. So then you go from here, shoot to white, blue, which swings it up here, and that is C. Now we have orange, yellow. So then we're going to imagine moving it down here and then over here. So for me that is U, and that is the buffer piece. Now, we have a lot of letters. Let's see if we're done. So the formula for number of targets is 23 minus number of solved pieces plus number of cycles broken into. So we have 23 minus number of solved pieces, so minus however many there are, plus number of cycles broken into. Let's assume there's 0 cycles, just for now. Now let's count the letters. Let's count how many targets we have. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So that's 22. That there needs to be one piece solved, and if there is one piece solved, then we are done. So I actually saw this a while ago. This red-blue wing is actually in the correct spot. So we do have a solved piece. So that means we are definitely done. And because there are an even number of wings, that means there will be no parity. It is very nice when you have 22 in one cycle, and that's it. My best official 4-blind single had that, and I got a pretty good time. Okay, so then we go on to memorize the corners. If I can fix the camera, because I was trying to... God, okay. Alright, so corners. You're going to start in the buffer, just like you always would. So you're going to shoot to the blue, red, white. So back here, that's going to be I. And then we have yellow, red, green. So it's down here. This is you. You should already know how to do this stuff. And then we have green, green, yellow, orange. That's right here. That is L for me. And we go down here to yellow, blue, orange. So that's down at this spot. That's going to be Y. Then we have yellow, blue, red. So that's going to go over here. So if this is your orientation, then yellow, blue, red is going to go back here. And that is W for me. Then we have the buffer piece, so we're going to have to break into a new cycle. I can see, I know if you have a full cycle of corners, then you are going to have 7 targets. So there are two corners that we have not dealt with. This one's solved. This one is flipped. So I deal with flipped edges badly. So I just shoot to this one and then this one. So I would shoot to, what is this? This is G. And then I would shoot to the top. So that's going to be B for me. And then we do have an odd number of corner targets. So there is going to be parity. So those are our notes. You should be memorizing all those letters. And we're going to have to do, by my method, we're going to have to solve centers first. So once you have all these letters memorized, this is the time where you put on the blindfold and start executing. So first we have L, and we want to shoot right here. It's an upper left center, so we're going to do a small F, bring this down, bring it over, bring it up, do a U2, undo setup moves. Solves the piece. Then we have D, camera falling. Let's get this more sturdy. Okay, so then we have D, so we're going to shoot right here. We're going to do an F, small F, because it is an upper left center, and move it over to the slice, bring the slice back up, do a U2, and bring it back. Undo moves. Solves that piece. Then we have H, so we're going to shoot right here. It is in the small F slice, so we're going to have to move it out of the way, and then move the slice down, so you can bring it to the slice and bring it up. U2, undo setup moves. Solves the piece. Next we have C. So we memorize C, and we're going to do that algorithm like this. Oh, I'm sorry, it's this way. And it's in this position now because it is interchanged. Next we have I, so that's right here. We're going to want to do a small L prime because it's an upper right center. So that, and then bring it over here. So you can do this move and it will bring it to the slice. Then bring it back down. U2, undo setup moves. Solves that piece. Next we have P, that is over here. That is an upper left, so we're going to do a small F, and then we're going to bring it all the way around. So small U2, small F prime, U2, undo setup moves. Piece is solved. Next is E. So we're going to shoot here. So we're going to do a small L prime, bring it all the way around because it's an upper right center. Bring it down, U2, undo setup moves. Solves that piece. Next we have O, so that's going to be down here. Lower right, so you're going to do a small F prime, bring the O over here to the slice and bring it up. U2, undo setup moves. Solves the piece and solves the whole face. Then we have B, so we're going to shoot to the helper, which is the U2. Next we have S, so we're going to shoot right here. We're going to do a small L, because it's a lower left. Bring it to the slice, bring it up. U2, undo setup moves. Piece is solved. Next we have W, so we're going to shoot down here, right here. So we want to move the T layer so that it is in this position, and then do our algorithm. So small r, B2, small b2, b2, small r prime, U2, same moves. And then undo your D move with a D prime. So next we have A. So we're going to shoot to this spot, and we're going to do our algorithm for this spot. So that's, I'm just going to do it because it's hard to say and I don't want to trip over it again. So then we essentially swap these two pieces. Then we have green, that is, we're going to shoot to G, so that's right here. We want to do a small F prime because it's in the lower right. Bring it over here to the slice and bring it up. U2, undo moves. Then we have J. I'm sorry, we have T. So we're going to shoot right here. And we're going to move it out of the way so that when we bring the slice down, we can move it into the slice and then move the slice up. U2, undo setup moves. That solves the piece. And then we're finally going to do Y. So we're going to do a D2, move it to the position. I'm sorry, not Y. I'm getting ahead of myself. J. So J is right here, so we're simply going to do a small L and move the piece to the slice, move it up. U2, undo setup moves. Now we're going to do a Y. So then we do Y, and so we're going to shoot it down here, so we want to do a D2 to put it into position, and then do our algorithm. Small r, B2, small D2, B2, small L prime. U2, small L, da-da-da, da-da-da, da. And undo your D2, remember that. So that will complete the centers, as you can see. Alright, so now that we have the centers solved, we don't have anything to mess up for the corners, so we are now going to do the corners. So, as you can see, the lettering's right there, and we do a parity. So you should already know how to do this. First we have I, which is back here. So we're going to move it down to this spot, then do your Y perm variation. So, there. Next we have U. So we're going to shoot to here by doing an R2, and then doing a J perm. And then undoing the R2. So now we have L, and that's going to go right here. So we're going to do an F2 and R, so we can do a J perm. Undo setup moves. Solved. Then we have Y, which is down here. I do a D2 R2 to put it into this spot so I can do a J perm. Undo setup moves. Solved. Then we have W, which is down here. I'm going to do an R2 and then do a Y perm. R2. Solved. And then we have G and then B, so we're flipping this. So I'm going to put it up here and do J perm. And then finally do a Y perm. And these two are now swapped, so we're going to do the parity algorithm. So how do we do it for you? These two, we're going to set up an opposite parity case, and then do opposite parity, and then undo those moves. So now our corners are done, and all we have left are execution of edges, or rather wings. So all these. So A is up here, this is an L slice, so we're going to put it into this position, and then we're going to do the algorithm, put it back. Next we have W, which is also in the L slice. That's back here. So we're going to do a small L, put it in this position, and then do your algorithm. So that is, I believe, yes. And then undo your L slice. Then we have G, so right here we're going to do another L slice. No setup move there because it's already in its position. Next we have F, which is over here. Undo. Same as edges. N is also going to be the same as M2, so we're going to put it into the helper, and R2, undo. So now we have R, so that's over here. Again, same as M2 edges, same moves. That solved that piece. So we're slowly getting them solved. Next we have Z, which is also in the L slice. This is the last remaining edge in the L slice, last remaining wing. Put it in position and do your BURBU rub. Undo your L slice. It's solved. Next we have V, so that's down here. We're going to do the same as R2. So just like that. You shouldn't see it. We're going to do U, R2, U prime, small R2, U, R2, U prime. Solves the edge. The wing. I keep calling it edge. I keep calling it edge because it's so similar. Next is D, so over here we're going to do the same as 3x3 since it's on this one of these, and then do sexy lefty, R2, undo sexy lefty, solves it. L is over here, so we're going to bring it up to the helper, R2. K is over here, bring it up to the helper, R2, undo. Next we have H, so it's over here, bring it to the helper, R2, undo. I'm not really going over those very well because you should know them for 3x3. So next is S, very similarly, to the helper, put it back. Then we have M, so we're going to do B prime R2B to put in the helper, R2, undo. Next is O, I believe. No, that's P. I'm sorry, it's P. So back here. So back here, put it into the helper, R2, undo. Then we have Y. So we're going to shoot it down here. So to the helper, R2, undo. Then we have I, so that's over here. I'm going to do B, L2, B prime to put in the helper, R2, undo setup moves. Then we have B, so up here, same as 3x3, sexy move, R2, undo sexy move, solves the piece. 4 more, so we have T, so we're going to shoot it back here. Excuse me, that is the same algorithm as, well, no it's not, there's an algorithm for it, I should say that. So, do R2, F, RUR prime, D, small d, RU prime, R prime, small d prime, F prime. And then again is another T. We're shooting back here again because it is interchanged. And we're shooting like basically to the opposite. It happens sometimes. So we will do R2, same algorithm. F, RU, R prime, small d, RU prime, R prime, small d prime, F prime. Then we have C, which is, I didn't really explain this very clearly in part 5, but C, the helper, that's just R2. Just like all the other similar methods, U2 and M2. And then finally we have U. So that is over here in LDB, so same as 3x3. Put it in the helper, R2, undo setup moves. And that will solve the 4x4. Now, I would like to do another example solve, but that took a very long time, and I don't want to overload. Fun fact about that, I messed up the corners like 5 times, so that's why there was a cut there. Anyway, that's it for this. Final part will be on tips and tricks.